Hello and welcome back to the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando on another Tuesday night, live with your host John Rollins and my co-host and good friend Luis Carlos Pineda. Luis, how are you? I can't hear you there, bud.
Oh, sorry about that. My apologies.
You're
Can you hear me
good.
now?
Yeah, I got you now. There you go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Technical difficulties here at Loud and Proud.
No, well,
Happens.
just excited for the Summer Cup. Definitely it's going to be a good tournament for to see what our some of our players have left in the tank or are ready to maybe to prove that they deserve a starting spot in the roster. So just excited for this opportunity. The opportunity that not only me being able to cover this tournament, but also the first of its kind, but also bringing international competition to the City Beautiful, which is going to be great.
I'm really excited, man, and we're going to talk a lot about that today. We're going to do the rundown for everybody today. Welcome, by the way. If you're here, please drop your comments. If you're on YouTube or X, drop your comments and we will read them out. We always love interacting with everybody. But the rundown today is number one, we're going to do the Summer Cup is here. So it's all about the Summer Cup, letting you know what's happening in that tournament and how it works, everything around that. The first game of that is going to be this week against North Carolina Courage away. So we'll preview that. Then we're going to talk about our Olympic Pride players, of which there are many. And then we're going to talk about some renewed contracts that have been just happening. And finally, we're going to talk about Grace Chanda, who stopped in the building on her way to the Olympics. A packed show here on the Pride Pod for you guys. And I'm super excited. Let's get into it. Let's start talking, Luis, about the Summer Cup. This one, this is an exciting tournament. I think there's a lot of cool things going on here with this tournament. It obviously mimics the League's Cup, right? So it's a lot like that. You've got the Liga MX FEMENIL Summer Cup, is what they're calling it. It's NWSL and the Liga MX FEMENIL players teams together. We, as you can see on screen right now, there's 5 groups: groups A, B, C, and D, and E. Sorry, we are an E group with North Carolina Courage, Racing Louisville, and Monterrey. So Rayados de Monterrey is what they go by officially. That's the only Mexican team in our group, but we obviously know Racing Louisville and we know North Carolina Courage. So I'm very excited about this tournament. I'm particularly excited to see us go against Rayados. Luis, your like first sort of opinions and what you think about this tournament we got coming up this week.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a massive tournament. I think for the betterment of soccer here in the states. Just kind of mixing and bringing them teams that we may not be familiar with, but clearly they have a lot of history. Like Tigres and Pachuca and Club America, Chivas. These are massive teams in the region. I think in the Americas. So it's exciting for Orlando that is hot right now. I think they're the best team in the NWSL to have to play probably the best team in Mexico, which is Rayadas. Right now, I think it's going to be definitely a battle of the momentum in the region. You know what I mean? Who has the biggest momentum? Is it Rayadas or is it Orlando Pride? And it's going to be great. I mean, I'm actually excited to see what this tournament is going to come about. Are we going to play with our A squad? Are we going to be maybe put in some of the players that have not been able to get playing time play here? So I feel like we should maybe showcase some of the players that we have not seen just yet. Maybe give Matt Crone a chance right there, a goalkeeper. Uh, you know, um, Give Alex Kerr right up top. More playing minutes. Ali Limos, if she's not going to go to the Olympics, I think she's going to go to the Olympics. I'm not sure, but give those players a little bit more of like legs, to because it's gonna help when the league resumes. It's only gonna help.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're gonna see some rotation, obviously out of necessity, but also because this is the time to do that with this tournament. For everybody who's not heard anything about this, I'm just gonna read a little bit of the blurb they have on the website to give you an idea about what this looks like. So, debuting this season as part of a groundbreaking collaboration between two leagues, NWSL and Liga MNX. It kicks off on the 19th, and it's got 6 of the best teams from the Clausura and Apertura from 2023 of MX FEMENIL. So that is Tigres, Club America, Chivas, Rayados, Pachuca, and Tijuana. So that's not all of the teams, just 6 of the best. So that's interesting, of course. Like there's been selection on that side, but not on our side. Then obviously when it's happening, it's going on from the July 19th. So this Friday, there's 33 match tournament consisting of a 30 group stage contests, followed by 4 semifinal rounds. The semifinal rounds are not until August 6th. So this is quite a long stretch. They call it the Summer Cup. The final, by the way, the semifinals will be played in KC Current Stadium, in KC Stadium.
They don't like us
Double
there.
header. Yeah, they'll like it. So double header for the semifinal there in the league's favorite stadium. And then the championship match is being staged at Toyota Field in San Antonio, Texas. And that's not until October 25th. So really more of like a summer into fall cup. Um, like the semifinals are on August 6th, and then the finals not until October 25th. I mean, I think it's cool. I think they're trying to make it like a little bit like a regular cup in the sense that it stretches across the season. So obviously Toyota Field in San Antonio, Texas. Jen has a comment here saying, "Oh, is that where Toyota Field is? I've never heard of it." Yeah, that's a funny one. I think it's good that it's in San Antonio because I think that actually helps if you're a fan from Mexico. If you're a fan of one of these teams, the final is actually going to be, easier for you to get to. There's obviously a huge amount of those fans in San Antonio as well, where you can actually come from Mexico. So I think that's really good that they put it somewhere that suits both fan bases. So yeah, I think if they get a Mexican team to the final, I expect a big crowd for one of them down in San Antonio. In terms of where to watch it, Luis, CBS has got all of these games in English as well as on the Golazo network. It's on Paramount Plus, so it's all in that family, as well as the semifinals and championship match there. Or if you want to watch on Espanol, they got TUDN. He's doing it with Univision. And if you're outside of the US, so for all of our Zambian fans out there and whoever else who wants to watch Barbara Banda, or if you're Brazilian, you want to watch some of the Brazilian players. I know we have some English fans even who follow the Pride. So you can watch on NWSL Plus. So
That's
you just be able to
fantastic.
watch for free on there. So I think there's a lot of positivity around the way they've organized this tournament, the way that they're putting it on with the media. I think it makes a lot of sense here. And I'm down for this, structure. And I think it's interesting that it's a lot of group games right now, and then the semifinal and the final are more spread out. What's your opinion on all of this and the way they've done it, Luis?
No, I think it's fantastic. Like I said, it's going to be competition for both levels. Even for Liga MX, it's going to be great to be, playing against top level um, athletes in the NWSL. And there is this. In soccer, there's this rivalry between the U.S. and Mexico, and I think it's great that this is going to be brewing now in women's sports. And competition is always good in my opinion. So let's see what they got and let's see what we got. I think it's positive for the sport in general. Now, to give a little bit of info regarding Toyota Field. So Toyota Field is a soccer specific stadium. It hosts
I've been there.
8,900 people for soccer. um it could host up to 18,500 seating capacity. It used to be the home of the San Antonio Scorpions in the North American Soccer League, which obviously dissoluted in 2015.
An old NASL stadium.
It's an old ANSL stadium. That's right. So
Shout out to anybody who knows even what NASL is.
yeah, if you know what NASL is, you're the real MVP. But that's what the I'm sure they got. I believe that's perfect. You know what I mean? I think that's a perfect. That's a perfect venue. I think it's gonna be packed. It's gonna look pretty imposing. So fantastic. I think it's great. I think it's gonna be great.
I think it's awesome that they've done that. Like I said, it's good. Like it's not in like Chicago or like yeah, of course you're gonna get there's fans of the Mexican teams all over the US, but this is actually close to Mexico. So I think that's a big deal. And I like the way they've organized it here on screen. If you're watching on X or on YouTube, you can see that they've got the graphic of the layout. It's just group stages. It's a World Cup, Copa, whatever, classic group stages into a knockout. The semifinals, like we talked about, are up in Casey Stadium, and then the final. But that's a ways away, Luis. So focusing on us, of course, we have first the game against North Carolina Courage. Luis, let's get into this one. Do you have your initial thoughts on North Carolina Courage? I know we played them before. What do you think about this team and our chances on what is it, Saturday? Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be again. It's gonna be a tough game, but I do believe that both teams are gonna be playing without some of their quality stars players. So again, we come with the momentum. So we come with the everybody wants to beat Orlando Pride. So it's gonna be a tough game no matter what. Um, I know some of them are not going to be part of the team because of the national team and things like that, right? But it's still going to be a tough match. I envision maybe be a pride win, maybe by one goal, by one or two goals. Again, I wish I could see some of the players that we have not seen so far this season. Um, so I don't know what you think regarding that.
I think obviously we're gonna definitely see. We'll talk a little bit more about lineup in a minute. We're gonna have to do a little bit of guesswork on our side. We know the players that are gone, but we don't know who's gonna really fill in. So that'll be a fun exercise in a minute. But talking about Racing Louisville and what they're doing, obviously this team and the recent form has been pretty good. They managed to beat Chicago Red Stars. Obviously, since they lost to us, they beat Chicago Red Stars. Wait, did we tie with them? No, we beat them. What am I talking about? They beat Chicago Red Stars, and then they beat Washington Spirit, which I think was a massive win. And then they also beat Racing Louisville. Pretty good little run there of 3 games for them. Obviously, that's with the team that they have, and a lot of those players, just like us, are going to be gone. So we're going to talk a little bit more about them in a second. Their lineup last time for Racing Louisville against Racing Louisville, apologies. They they do okay, but it's not. I'm not convinced by this team. I think they are good, but I still think we can beat them.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, we have the upper hand right there. So and it's going to be a big test for us, and also facing some of these competition is going to be make the players that we have not seen greater, in my opinion. So it's going to be great. I'm excited. I know that we're not going to be facing some of the players that we see right now, but
And
it's
that's
going to be
really the
great to match
key,
match our bench with theirs for sure.
right? Like that's the key. A lot of their defense, national team players. So it's gonna be like they got picked apart a little bit, like us. So it's kind of hard to say what kind of team they're gonna be seeing. Like Like JA Texas says Casey Murphy's going. Roush, I know, is in the German national team. There's a lot of players here, like they're gonna be gone. So what does that mean for them? What does their second team look like? What are their backups? What are their reserves look like? I think it's the biggest question. And this is something that we've talked about a lot, Louise, with the Pride planning for this time. The question is, have North Carolina Courage also planned for this time? Do we feel like our depth is better than their depth? What do you reckon on that?
Sorry, can you repeat? I didn't hear you very well.
You're good. Our depth versus their depth.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still believe we have a little bit of an upper hand. I think again, I'm a little biased right there, but I do think that we have the better team, and it's gonna be great to see Matt Crone and Alex Kerr. I'm excited to see Alex Kerr, to be honest with you. Hopefully, she gets some minutes right there up top. She had a great collegiate career, and I can't wait to see if she can mimic that with the Pride.
For sure, man. I'm excited for this game. I think it's going to be a little bit different. I want to know what the differences are with this summer cup. Like obviously it's two NWSL teams, but what does it look like with a different tournament? What does it look like with everybody being away for Olympics? And more like on that, like what does the Orlando Pride team look like? Like what do we think is going to be how we play? And we'll talk about lineup in a second. But before that, if we're missing Barbara and we're missing Marta, and so much of what we've done is around them, and Hafa, sorry, and Adriana and other players that are going to be gone, what is the sort of like new look of this Pride team? Not only who's playing, but
Well,
what are we going to be doing? How are we going to be? A lot of what we did before rotated around the players that are not here anymore. So, what is
yeah, I
your thought
mean,
on that?
well, I mean, we're gonna see. Some of our core is gonna be. I mean, we're definitely gonna have some of our core. I mean, we got Morgan, we got Ali Watt, um, Summer Yates, Amanda Allen. You know, Carrie Lawrence, Julie Doyle. That's a lot of the players that we're used to seeing. In the NWSL. Um, Carrie, Abello. Maybe we'll see Evelina Dolgen. You've been wanting to see her since she
I
left
actually
Juventus.
forgot about Evelina for a minute there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she's been to a couple of games for the Pride already. La Roquette, remember we have La Roquette. So
Larroquette.
Celia, Celia's available. Corey Dyke,
See,
Mac.
but these are all players. I want to know like what are we like? What do you think the plan is? Because I have an idea about what I think we're gonna
It's
do.
gonna be. I think. I feel like they're gonna do for the first. For the first, I mean, they're gonna do a mix of both. So I feel like they're gonna give Mac hopefully the starting position for the keeper position, and then they're gonna be probably maintaining some of their similar back line. So you're talking about having Carrie. Um, Also, Carrie Lawrence available. Maybe she's going to be part of that. Definitely, she's going to be part of that. Um, and you set up your back line maybe with Haley McCutcheon and Brianna Martinez, and then we maybe see Corey Dyke starting. You know, I mean, if you want, we could pull up the
Yeah,
lineup
let's
creator.
uh let's do a lineup. I think it's gonna roll around Summer, man. I think Summer's gonna be the 10, and then everything will kind of be like a 4-2-3-1 with Summer playing that 10. That's my guess.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna see Emily Sampson's with the national team. So
Carriabello. I mean,
You
I'll
have
like goalkeeper for one. We when we talked with Haley, there was discussions of maybe at some point Sophia Mana being ready. So is that an option? I would
I don't
love to
know,
see
but
that.
I don't
If
know, but
not,
right
then
now
Macron.
I don't know, but the reality is Macron. I
Yes,
mean,
I think it's more likely we'll see Mac, but wild card maybe we see Sophia. Who knows?
yeah, maybe, but I think for right now, I think it's Macron. And then you have Carriabello right here, and you're putting Kylie Strom. So you're
Yep.
maintaining your. So who are you putting here as your
I think you're putting Carrie Lawrence
Carrie
there.
Lawrence, right? So
Yeah.
you see,
So a lot of it is there.
it's still
Yeah.
pretty solid,
Brie
right?
Martinez at right back makes total sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
you see, so you maintain, right
Yeah.
there.
A lot of that, we goalkeeper, one center back. That's all that's really changed there, honestly.
That's right. And then, you know, we're gonna see maybe Morgan and Corey Dyke. Is Ali Lemos gonna be available?
I'm not sure on Ali Limas. I don't know the schedule of the women's national U20s. So if anybody does know, please let us know. I got to do some research on that one. Exactly what times she's going to be out and when. There's a good chance she still might be here for a while. So if she is, then I could definitely see her getting that shot in D mid.
Yeah, so I mean, we still have Haley McCutcheon, and she's gonna be part of that. So you
Yep.
could put you could put Haley. Um,
JA says Ali Limas had a game today,
oh yeah, yeah. So
but
she,
that's just
so
friendlies, right?
yeah, so no, yeah, she's gonna be gone. So here we got
Yeah.
Morgan. I
So
mean,
Jennifer says the U20s have no more matches until September 1st.
okay,
So I think
so
it's one of those situations where Allie is actually gonna not in a tournament right now, but she's just in camp for U20s. She's gonna come back from camp and be available, and then go away again in the future.
I mean, we could
I think
put
that's
Ali
what it is.
Lemos. I mean, if you're playing Rayadas, I will play Morgan Galtrat right there if she's available. I know
Yeah,
that
I
she was.
mean
I know that she was vacationing, but I mean, if
Haley in the D mid, or maybe even Haley goes into right back. Like they could do that. That's an option. We could put her back at right back, and then you play Allie and Morgan as your two DMs.
yeah, I mean that
It's
could be it.
possible.
I feel Haley more comfortable here, in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
just,
I think those are our three options really in
and
that D
then
mid.
here you're gonna have Ali Watt for sure.
I would
Yeah,
say actually, Louis, let's put
center.
Morgan in D mid because I think if Limos just played today, then she might not be likely to start on Friday.
Yeah, so I mean, you put Morgan right there. I
Morgan
mean,
and
right
Haley.
there, you got a killer. I mean, you got
No, I mean it's good
like
options. I
like
do think Allie's going to see some time though. If she's around and she's
yeah,
available,
you got
definitely
you got
want to see her in
Summer
this tournament.
Yates right there.
Summer
You
at the
know,
10, man. Summer at the 10,
right?
I think.
And then here you could do
Julie and Allie, man.
Julie Doyle, right?
Gotta be.
And then you're gonna put here Ali Watt, or you could, Ali Watt, and then right up top, then you could pick. I mean, you got Evelina Dolgen, which
Yep.
would make a debut. You
What
have
about
Alex Skur.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. Also, what about curveball?
You,
You could They could
who?
push Summer back up to the left wing, pay someone else at left back, and then play Allie or Julie as your 9 and play the front three of Carrie. Sorry, I was talking about Carrie at left wing, and then like Allie at striker, maybe and Julie at the wing, or Julie at striker and Allie at the wing. We've
I,
seen Summer be pushed up before like that. It could happen.
I mean, I don't know. I think they feel they have a system, especially with the wingers. And
Yeah.
I don't know if Sab's ready to just be like, hey, play up top. I mean, it could be.
She has though this season. We've seen it happen. So that's why I'm saying like I don't know if they will, but it could happen. But then who would you play at left back? So
I
we got
mean,
we got quite a few defenders available.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of options. I mean, you could put Brianna here, you could put Haley here.
Yeah.
You know, you could
You could
put,
push Kylie Strong back to let like even do that. Like we've
yeah, I
seen
mean, it's
Seb go like really shift things around. So I feel like
right.
with so many players missing, he could even move other players around the right.
Yeah,
Like
so to
it could happen.
me, what we have left for the attack, we have Evelina Dolgin's a defender, so discard that. We
She
could
could
even
play
see
right
Evelina.
back though.
Yeah,
She's
there you
done it.
go.
So that's
So
what I mean. Is we don't
we
know
could,
with this
yeah,
team. It's so hard.
we could do La Roquette.
Laro, I'd like to see Laro get some more minutes. But
I
I
mean,
also wouldn't mind to see Julie or Allie play the nine, see how well they do.
or you could put Amanda Allen. You know what I mean?
Amanda Allen, another player we haven't really
Or
could be in a starting
or
lineup.
even like you said, you know, you put I will feel Mark. I mean, you put Julie Doyle as your nine because she has the size and she can definitely finish.
Yeah.
And then you put Amanda Allen here,
Yep.
you know, or you put Amanda Allen as your nine, you know, or Laro, you know. So there you go. It just you got options right there, you know.
I think the big thing we got to lean on in this moment is the likes of Kylie Strom, Carrie Bello, Ali Watt, Julie Doyle, Haley, these players that are like still starters in like when you have everybody fit, these are players that are still getting in the first team and they're the leaders of the team. They're providing an example a lot of the time. So we need them to step up even more in this moment and fill the shoes of some of these other players that are going to go and provide more and do more. And I think it's a great opportunity to do that. I think like Ali was having a killer season. Julie Doyle's having a great season. So I'm excited to see what happens, not that they get overshadowed all the time, but sometimes a little bit. Like if you take away the other players, give the spotlight to Julie. You know, like let her run at people like we've been watching. What's going to happen? So there's a lot of players in this team that I'm excited to see them have more of a role in the team, more of a be the leader, be the one that we can put on our back and say, Summer, go run everything, be the 10 that you could be. And we've seen
Yeah,
at times when Marta wasn't there, like early in the season, Summer was the one. And I think that's what we're going to go back to.
it's a great opportunity for also, like you said, Carrie Bello, you know, Julie Doyle, even Haley McCutcheon to step up and just take more of a leadership role as well. Carrie's super young, so you know, like you said with Summer, you know, this is going to be. I mean, this is an international competition, so also, you know, as a player, you also want to do great in international competition because what if Rayada says, "Hey, I would like to offer you a job, and I could pay you 3 times what the price pays you, but you have to come live in Mexico." You know, it's a showcase for them too. For especially if let's say some of these players feel like they don't have like they're subs, but they could be starters somewhere else. That's to showcase their abilities as well, and just you know also be looked at because I'm sure in Europe they're going to be looking at this tournament as well. I mean, a lot of the Liga Femenil players, they they go and play in Europe, and so they're going to be watching. I'm sure. So it's going to be great for our players. You know, they'll put
Jennifer
it.
says, "Don't put that in the universe, Luis. Don't put it out there, bro. You're gonna give
No,
the."
but I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's
it's part of
true.
the business. You know, it's
It
part of
is. It is, and
you
also
know.
the other way though. Like I want to
It
see
could
some
be
of
the other
these.
way too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to see like what's Rayadas got there. Like I was
yeah,
looking at the Mexican national team, and I was like, who's
that's right.
obviously
Hey,
we just played the women's national team. So I was looking and seeing like who's playing for who. Who are we gonna? There's one midfielder I think who plays for Rayadas who's in the Mexican national team. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm just excited to see
but
us play international competition. I think
but do
that's
you see our
really.
depth though? I mean,
I mean,
you're
this is what we're talking
I
about.
mean,
Yeah.
you're looking at you know, defense wins championships. You have pretty much the starting back line, pretty much a starting back line right here.
Yeah.
You have your top D mid, which is Haley, which she's like 4x4 Jeep. Like she runs over everyone. She is like that glue in the midfield, in my opinion, right there.
Yeah.
And then you got your wingers. You got Julie Doll has been doing fantastic, playing in the
Yeah.
wing. Actually, I would say we could switch right here like this. That's what I meant to do. There you go, like that. You know. So
Yeah.
hopefully this is it, and then you could put any of the players that could play up top. All these three players: Doyle, Allen, or Watt. Allen can play right wing. Watt could play striker. Doyle could play right wing, and she could play striker. So these all three could. There's no really set position, in my opinion.
And this is down 7 players, Luis. We're down 7 players on the squad for Olympic duty, and we still got to put this team out. So,
So Jay Texas is that's why Haley's resigning everyone. That's a great
yeah,
that's a great comment. Jennifer,
we're gonna talk about that in a minute. That's on our agenda. Thank you everybody who's dropping your comments. Please, comment on either YouTube or X if you're in the video. We will see it. Thank you for interacting with us. We really appreciate you all being here. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff.
retweet.
Yes, social media requires that we ask these things of you. So please help us
That's
out.
right.
We're going to talk a little bit now about Olympic pride players. We've been talking about it anyway because it's so key to what's happening at the moment. But here, Luis, there's some really great graphic put out today by NWSL on their Twitter account all over. So NWSL players at the Olympics, there's 56 NWSL players at the Olympics.
That's
That is
fantastic.
outrageous number.
Awesome.
More than Olympic rosters than any other league in the world. 20% of the players in the tournament come from NWSL. This one is a great stat. Every NWSL club will have a player at the tournament. Every single one. They've highlighted the most. We are one of the most. Everyone was talking earlier in the year, like, oh, Gotham, that's like their whole team is international players. Well, guess what? We've got 7 of them too. So Gotham and us, 7 players out on international duty
Wow.
with Olympics. And then we've also got Washington Spirit and Portland Thorns close behind with 6 each on those squads. So those being the affected the most, highlighting the countries here like that they're from. Of course, USA. We've got Emily Sams. We'll talk about that in a minute. Zambia, Barbara, Grace, representing Orlando Pride in the Olympics. Super excited to watch them. Not so excited when they're going to play the US, but that's a whole other thing. And then also, over half of the NWSL's first-time participants are 24 years
Fantastic.
old or younger, and that says a lot. That's the Croy Bethunes of the world out there, and NWSL just competing. So lots of young, hungry players. Super awesome to see all of these. And of course, on our side, like we mentioned, we've got 4 Brazilians, we've got 2 Zambians. Ali Limos is out, but that's obviously not the Olympics. She's doing U20 national team stuff. The other big one, big 2, Anna Morehouse called up for the Lionesses. Super exciting. That's awesome. Would love to see her get some time in net. And then the big one, Luis, that came out last week, Emily Sams. We've been calling for it, buddy. We've been calling
That's
for
right.
it. You're. I'm assuming it's nothing but joy, but just tell us how awesome this is.
No, this is fantastic. It's fantastic for the pride. It's fantastic for Emily. It's well deserved. I mean, she's to me one of the top center backs in the league. She could play multiple positions. We've seen her that she can score. She can finish. She can do a lot of things. So it's going to be, it's time. Emily Hayes is part of the U.S. women's national team now. It's time for a change, man. And I think I think could be one of the core center backs for the national team. And what that's going to do is put the pride everywhere. If they have a successful Olympic run, she's going to be an Olympian. So it's a lot of positives just for for the city in general. I mean, we have an Olympian in the city. You know what I mean? It's phenomenal. City of Olympians, most of them all from the Orlando Pride. I think that's great, not only for the club but also for their personal careers. Because again, opportunities come knocking, right? Let's say she has a phenomenal Olympic, and FC Barcelona comes knocking. You know what I mean? She's not gonna say no to FC Barcelona. So it's just opportunity, opportunity after opportunity, right?
Louis, stop putting this out there, man. We're gonna lose all our
But it's great
players
for
at
the
this
club
rate.
because we're gonna be. I mean, we're no longer that ugly duckling club. You know what I mean? We're
Oh my God,
transitioning.
we fully blossomed.
Yeah, and now we have the
Yeah,
depth to bring another Emily Sams. So it's
we've
just a
gone
part
through
of
the
the
makeover montage scene.
it's a circle of life. And then is you have this competition right here. I mean, and again, I know I'm talking to a head, maybe I'm just overly positive, but you have the Summer Cup. Let's say we win the Summer Cup, and then let's say we win the NWSL. That's two championships. Like, no other team in the city has done that. I mean, so it's a lot of things. This team is definitely poised for greatness. So it's just fantastic that Coach Emma Hayes is noticing. She probably had her on her radar already because of last season. I mean, the last run for the Pride was phenomenal. So I'm glad. I'm so happy for her. I mean, definitely delighted for her form and how she's performing.
I think also it's a real shame that Kat Macario had to go out. Like I think a lot of what Emmer Hayes was trying to do was built around that. Which kind of a shame that she's not there. Lynn Williams came in already, like got some minutes in the last game against Mexico, looked really good. And because Lynn got in and is now no longer an alternate, that opened, if anybody didn't realize what we're talking about, that opened up the slot for Emily Sams to then become from a training player to an alternate. And by the way, she beat out other players, and I think that's interesting because obviously Lynn Williams is an attacker, so you take an attacker forward, and then you would have thought, okay, then I'm going to bring another attacker in, but instead Emma Hayes has shifted things and gone, actually, I want to bring Emily Sams. So maybe that tells you, okay, we need a bit more in defense, but also I think maybe it speaks to how well Emily was performing in camp and said, okay, out of the four, you're the one I want to take,
And
which
then
is awesome.
and then I'm sure she's seen the Pride, and
Yeah,
she's seen the way Seb does their back line. I mean, she could
yeah,
play right back. She could
yeah.
play in a three defender formation with three center backs out back. She could play a makeshift six. She could so it's impressive how many positions. So in one player, she's basically filling the slots for maybe three positions
Yeah.
in case something may occur, injuries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's smart for Emma to do this.
And I
It
think
makes a
both
lot of sense.
center back and right back are open, like they're not completely nailed down in the US women's national team. So they are playing, Luis, in 30 minutes. I believe it's 7:30 tonight.
Yeah.
They are on TV. So
You
we'll
know,
be
you know what
watching.
channel?
I don't know. I think it's, let me look. Hold on. Let's see. We're playing Costa Rica in another friendly. I don't know the channel, but I'm sure it's on something really obvious and I haven't seen. Anybody know the channel? Hit that up in the chat.
Yeah, hit me up.
I'm assuming it's on FootMob. I mean on FootMob on Fubo. It better be, or else I'm gonna be upset.
It's
So
TNT or True TV. Okay, they're not.
um, so we'll see. But I want to watch that game, and I think it's highly likely, Louise, that Emily
Thank you,
Sams
Dad.
gets some minutes. I think she's gonna come on here.
Yeah,
Maybe even starting. I mean, I don't. She the lineups probably come out already. Uh, I don't know. I've been doing the podcast, but I do think Emily Sams is going to come off the bench, even if she's not in the starting lineup,
Yeah, for
because I
sure.
think they want to give her some time.
Hmm.
Like, look, Lynn Williams already got some minutes. Like, I think we want to give a little bit in these friendlies, a little bit of time. Like, Corey Bethune is an alternate player, and she got some minutes last game. So Emma's showing that. Jay
Yeah,
Texas says she's available as a sub.
that's right.
Thank you, Jay, for looking that up for us. So I really hope she's coming on as a sub. Let's hope. I'm excited. I would
this is
love to see Emily Sams come on the
this is
field for U.S. Women's National Team.
yeah, I agree. I can't wait to see her play. And Rachel says, I bet she gets a cap. How much you want to bet that's what
I'm
happens?
wearing full pride gear for a reason. I'm not leaving it up to chance. Look, bobblehead Marta, Emma Hayes, bobblehead Marta says play Emily Sams. Okay, so
My
there we go.
Chelsea,
You
my
heard it
Chelsea.
from the GOAT herself. Rachel says she's not in the starting, but she's a sub. Thank you. She also says, I bet she gets a cap. I bet so too, Rachel.
Yeah.
Here's hoping. Alrighty. Moving on to our actually, Luis, you've added in a topic here.
No. I just wanted to let you guys know about the watch party schedule
You know
for
what's so funny is I had that tab lined up for later too. So
yeah.
great
So
minds, bro. Great
yeah,
minds.
yeah, because we were talking about Paris. So I mean, Paris 2024, vous parlez français. Make sure you get your baguettes ready. Make sure you get your raclette,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Love some raclette, right? Brazil, Nigeria. So you're talking about Angelina, Marta, Rafa, and Adriana. I mean, what's up our squad? Brazil against Nigeria, and then I am really looking forward to USA Zambia, dude. I just
For
you know
for those people listening and not watching, Luis is talking about the watch party schedule.
yeah
Orlando Pride released today that they're going to be doing watch parties at American Social, which is a place in Orlando, like a
yeah
bar, for the Olympics. So the first game is the Brazil Nigeria game, and then Luis tell us about USA Zambia at 3 o'clock
USA
on a
Zambia.
Thursday afternoon.
I want to see some
God,
Bandamania, even though
that
I
makes me want to get out of work early and go to the bar.
yeah
100%.
I know she's coming hot. I think this Zambia team is. I mean, they're gonna have some tough competition. I mean, Team USA is tough competition, but they got these players that are just like out of this world, man. And Banda, Chanda, you got Kuna Jandi. It's just so
I
much
love watching Banda
talent.
run at defenses. I don't want to watch her run at the
Chawinga,
US
you got
defense.
Chawinga.
I mean, if Emily Sams is playing in this game by some random occurrence, then you're looking at Banda versus Sams. Like
Exactly. They're
it's
gonna hug each
on.
other. You know what I
It's
mean?
on. Maybe I think Emily's probably telling them, like Banda does this, she tries to do that, like probably giving them a little bit of insight on what she knows about her teammates. That kind of thing happens all the time. J.A. Texas says Banda, Grace, and Kudanagi. Yeah.
I know. Chawinga is
Uh, Yes.
from Mali. Yeah,
Chewing is yes,
yeah.
not from
So
Zambia. Yeah.
sorry, don't kill me, guys from Zambia. I apologize profusely.
Jennifer says, I wish I had PTO to use to go to this watch party. I'm definitely thinking about cutting it early that day, Luis.
I mean,
I
it's
gotta say, that's tempting.
and
That's really
imagine
tempting.
the other players that we don't know that are an amazing talent. Maybe we find a center back, a D mid that we don't know about, the goalkeeper. So much like this Zambia team brings so much excitement.
Are we sending Emma? Are we sending Haley to France? Because I think we should be sending
I
Haley.
think Haley
Get
needs to
your
go to France.
scouts and go to France
Yeah,
because
just
I
go to
want some
France.
of these. I want some of these internationals.
Yeah,
Bring me more of that. I think that's awesome, man. I'm super excited about the Olympics, the Summer Cup. Also, if you go to the next picture here, they did the final as well. So that's a big
yeah, the
one.
gold medal watch, right?
They're already like the gold medal
Yeah, come
final,
on,
like
like
yeah, gold medal match,
they're already,
quote
they're already,
unquote.
I
probably going to be
mean,
the U.S. women's national team if things go well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, tell
if
me
not,
you want to be there without telling me you want to
if
be
not,
there.
I'll blame whoever made that poster.
Yeah,
They
bad
changed it.
juju. I have a fear, Luis, a very real fear that it's going to be Lionesses versus the women's national team. Yeah,
1776, man.
and I'm a win or lose either way, but I'm also going to be sad either way. So,
Can you imagine? Yeah, yo, no. In
uh,
England, they're gonna start practicing a new sport, man. The
right, no,
Euro, the
no, no,
Olympics.
no,
Come on, man.
don't say Southgate here. We're not doing that.
You know they won
Um,
Southgate. They won Southgate for the men's
No, no,
national team.
Luis. No,
Please,
no, we're
no.
not. I don't even want to discuss that.
Well,
Don't even
Spain,
go there.
the Spanish team, they're scary
Uh,
as well. Yeah,
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 Jay Texas says Spain is scary. 100%. Like we did just lose to who is it? Like some I think they lost to some random European nation. I can't remember which. But they just made some errors and they pounced on their errors. Like most of the game was the Spanish team, like,
yeah.
just not being able to finish their chances, but absolutely killing this team. So Spain
Mm.
are the favorites. Then I'd probably say what Brazil, England, France, USA, all of
Don't
those 4 or 5 are up
don't
there.
discount Zambia. They're gonna be the
Zambia
dark horse.
could be very good,
They're gonna be the dark
honestly.
horse. I'm telling you.
I don't know much about their defense, but their attack is scary as hell. I can tell. We can tell you that. Rachel said, "I'm sure Haley is playing 3D multi-dimensional chess while we all play checkers." 100%. Yeah, she's already probably got 5 players lined up that she wants to look at, and has sent a scout to do it for her because Haley's that organized. So I
Yeah,
don't doubt that whatsoever. This is all just speculation, by the way. We don't know anything. We're just
yeah. We don't know anything. I'm
messing
always
around,
speculating.
and we are excited by our incredible team here and everybody they get in. We want to see more of that. Grace Chanda, I'm excited to see her. Like we haven't really, obviously seen her for Pride yet, but another one that I'm going to be watching closely during the Olympics. All right, Luis, let's move on. We're going to talk a little bit about renewed contracts. There was 3 recently, most recently one today. But let's start with them in chronological order for you here. I have Corey Dyke back on July 10th. So she was signed to a new contract through the 25 and then a mutual option through 26. I think Corey's been pretty good so far when we've seen her in playing, and I'm encouraged by the future she has here. So, any thoughts for you, Luis, on Corey's renewal?
I mean, honestly, a decorated defender in collegiate in college. For Penn State, 108 games, all were starts, 9 goals, 9 assists. She was I believe the Big Ten Defender of the Year. So, and when she got into the Pride colors, she did not disappoint whatsoever. I mean, you can definitely tell this isn't we are, and again, give it up to Penn State for having such great program too. Phenomenal. I mean, you got Carrie Bello and Corey Dyke, from there. So, um, they're doing some right.
Yeah,
So,
my friend who's
um,
from Penn State, every time he's always like, "Oh, dude, Penn State player, Penn State player."
yeah,
So
I'm
yeah, he always
sure.
points it
I'm
out.
sure they're going to, you know, Penn State could maybe play against an NWSL team and probably, they're that good
um,
of a program. But honestly, exciting is exciting. It's the future, I think, like I said, Haley is, you know, in case someone leaves, in case there's that transaction, you got Corey Dyke right here. She's a phenomenal star. She's also definitely UN's women's national team material. So,
she's already played 11 matches.
correct.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize she played that much. I mean, I
Not
know
only
she's
that,
coming off the bench, but
she's
quietly putting in a
represented
fair
already.
amount of minutes in her rookie season.
Yeah, she's represented youth level, U.S. women's national team youth level, U14s.
She could maybe join Allie in the U20s call up at some point. I could see that.
Yeah,
So
that's fine. Yeah, I agree.
uh,
I think it's great.
let's let's move on to the next one, Luis. The one, the only Summer Yates getting that sign, new contract. I mean, what can we say? We talk all the time about how awesome Summer is. I think she is the future of this club more than anybody. I think her and Carrie Abello are the two that I look at to lead this future of this team from the U.S. Like point of view. I think that she is just an incredible talent who has really shown this year just such growth. Like we talked about in preseason, that she, went on record saying she had conversations with the staff, and it's been multiple times that we talked about what she needed to do in the offseason. She went ahead and did that. And then all year, she's been, just putting in great performances, scored some great goals at the beginning of the year. She was the one when Marta was out still that we kind of had in the 10. Like I said, I think she's going to be that one again as we go into this next period. I just think she's a really special player, Luis. And I think the way that she just carries the ball, dribbles the ball, the way she reads the game, I think she's Marta-esque in that way. I think she's learning from the GOAT, and you can see it in the way she plays.
I mean, Marta, she's proven to be such a leader on and off the field for these athletes. It's unreal. The way everyone has raised their level just by playing next to her. The impact she's had in the team, it's phenomenal. I'm sure if you ask any player, hey, would you ever want Marta to retire? They're probably going to tell you, please don't retire. But her legacy is not only maybe the trophy that we may be winning, hopefully, but the legacy is with these young players. And you see in how Summer's playing, you see it on how Julie's playing too. I could tell.
Yep.
Allie, you name it, Carrie. So it's really great. With Yates, 4 goals, 2 assists, in the toughest league in the world for women's sports. You know, um, phenomenal, uh, phenomenal. She scored 27 goals in 93 games, I believe, for University of Washington. So she's been in under 20 UN's women's national team. So she's been out there. So again, it's an important part of the puzzle, and I'm glad that Haley's being proactive to get that rubric going.
I think it's smart, and we're seeing obviously like players like this that could have been out of contract, could start to have like Summer Yates. If there are not other agents around the league asking how much for Summer Yates, then they are fools, because I think this is a really hot talent, and I can imagine that she's got suitors out there, other teams, other clubs that want to bring her in, and I think this Haley's just way of being like, back off or putting a couple of years on her. But a lot of this probably was always going to be happening anyway. Like if they prove themselves, it makes sense to give them contracts early, give them multiple years, protect your players, guard your players. But not only that, make your players, know that they've done a good job. This is a reward. Summer has earned this new contract. And this is a great way of the club saying, look, you've been rewarded for your incredible play. And we want to keep you here. And I don't know if she's got more money, who knows, but it could have been a raise. So great thing to do. And then the last one, Luis, today we had a new piece of news. Viviana Villacorta, who we have not seen at all really this season, also got a new contract. Uh, this is a player that got injured in the preseason, right? I'm correcting,
Yeah.
or is it no? Was it back in
It was
23? But it was like,
yeah, it was a
yeah,
season ending.
it was. So she's still, coming back from that. Um, Someone that we know like was. a big part of last year. It did quite a lot for us last year, but this year hasn't obviously been able to play much at all. So, um, your thoughts on Viv coming back?
I'm excited. I think the club knows that she was an important part of the puzzle last season. Um, so they're bringing her back because she really didn't disappoint when she was wearing Pride colors last season. She was part of that big, you know, momentum growth. And honestly, she had a really scary injury that she's been working pretty hard to come back from, and she had a lot of talent. She's one time she was poised to be part of the national team too. She already was in the youth level. There was a lot of expectations from her. She appeared in 2023, 16 games, one assist. You know, a lot of depth, a lot of talent. I don't know if she'll be a starter, but she definitely has the talent to be part of this squad. Now, I'm gonna say something that's probably not gonna be pretty, 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 pretty cool. Um,
Controversial.
Viviana is half Peruvian, I think. You know,
Really? I don't know.
yeah. If she wants to make a true impact in women's sports, it would be great to see her in playing for La Bicolor. And
Oh,
I know that she could do it. I don't know if they've ever had any communication. I honestly don't know, but it would be cool to see a player of that level. We don't. Peru does not have a player that plays in the best league in the world, so she'll be able to be a leader in that squad for sure, and a starter, and someone that makes women's sports grow in that country even more. Because she's playing one of the top level teams in the world right now. With probably one of the highest momentums. So it would be cool to for her to, because I mean, be honest with you, yes, I know everyone wants to play with the women's national team, but what are the odds right now with so much talent, right? So and Peru is right there. So I know it's not probably the best conditions as maybe you get here in the US, but I do say that it would be great, and I'm sure your family will be ecstatic if you decide to represent Peru. So that's all I wanted to
I
say.
I think that happens a lot in like sports where you get to a point where they think, okay, I'm not saying this is the case for Viv, but she could still come back and maybe in the future get something for the women's national team. But if she feels like that's not an option, it's great to have a backup option where you want to go, okay, actually.
Yeah,
And like
we
you said, it would be a big deal. Sometimes making a player of that stature will make a big impact in a situation like that.
so
Um,
in the Peruvian national team, we have play in the women's team. We have players that are in college, like Ariana Munoz. She's the
right.
number. She's the six for
Yeah.
UNF.
It's at that level where it's
So
not everybody on the team is a
so you
professional.
bring someone like Bib, she will be the captain. Like she will be the face of the
Um,
national, like again, women's sports in South America, it's growing tremendously with Colombia and Chile and Argentina making a lot of Brazil. So there's been a lot of a huge resurgence, and not only are women supporting these groups. You see the same fans that follow some of the top teams in South America. They go and follow the women's side team,
yeah.
and pack the stadium. So you see it with Corinthians in Copa Libertadores. You see it with Deportivo Cali and things like that in Colombia. So it would be a massive move if obviously she feels like the U.S. women's national team will be a little out of sights. I know I'm getting too
Yeah.
ahead, guys,
I
but
think she's got to
yeah,
focus on coming back from injury first.
correct.
So this is
But
all big what ifs.
it'll be
But that's
great.
cool to know. I didn't know that
It'll be
was an
great.
option.
Very cool.
Obviously Haley is it like giving her big praise. She said
Yeah,
Viv
for
has the
sure.
potential to be one of the best midfielders in the league,
It is.
and is unable to showcase that for the season's late injury. And despite the setback, has persevered and put in work to get back on the pitch and has remained an incredible teammate. She has proven a difference maker on the field, and we look forward to seeing her back soon. So I think it speaks a lot that during this time of injury, we've seen enough from her last year. We feel like there's enough talent there to say we want to pursue review. We want to get you back in the team. And I think for Viv, there was obviously there's always that chance when you're out injured, like in your contract, and there's questions. You don't know 100%. So I think it's great to see that we're backing a player through the injury that we feel like we're going to get you better and get you back out on the field, and we still want to help you and feel like you can contribute to this team. So kudos to Haley and everybody on that. Another great piece of news for the Pride, just more keeping the players we have, man. I think that's always important, and especially the ones that we feel have got big upside and big potential. All righty. There was a few other things we got to talk about, Luis.
Yeah, I wanted to before we go into Chanda real quick. I
Yeah.
know. Are you gonna go to the Aerys night?
That's so funny. I also had that on the bingo. You're just like doing bingo card tonight, man, and
Do you like Taylor Swift, John?
you're hitting all the things
Are you a
that I was
Swiftie?
gonna talk about. I think more than anything, I'm not a Swiftie. I will say that. I don't really, I'm not involved in that world, obviously.
I'm a little. I'm a little
What I am
Swiftie.
though is an Orlando Pride fan, and what I am not is a Casey Current fan. So I think what we need here is to get all the people out, because as we know, there's been talk from the KC Current fans. They're still salty and crying, but
They're
they've
gonna
also
pack their
been
stadium.
rallying around this game, and they're like gonna bring a bunch of fans. So in response, the club has already been like, let's make this a big night. And we're going for Aerys night, which is, it's sort of just a bit of a I think it's a little cheeky. I like it. I like the way that they're tying it back to Taylor and Kansas and everything. So I think that's clever. So everybody come out for Aerys night. Get your tickets. Let's pack it out. Let's make these KC Current fans, feel uncomfortable. I don't want them being loud in our stadium. No, thank you.
Let's be fearless. Let's have let's show them our bad reputation. Let's be red. No, actually, let's be purple. But then it could be red. I'm just mentioning all these Taylor Swift albums,
You're
John.
just doing. You're just
In
dropping
mind,
quotes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
it's gonna
this
be
is our love
exciting.
story with Orlando Pride.
There
Love
you
that.
go. Boom.
Anyway, come out on September 13th. It's a long way away, but they've already got tickets out on sale, obviously. Only $13. So come watch. Rachel says they're salty, question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a little bit. Jay Texas says the big revenge match for
that's
KC.
right.
So
Yeah.
awesome. I'm excited for this match. Luis, one other thing that happened recently, the best 11.
That's amazing.
So the NWSL announced the best 11 for the month from June. And of course, Barbara Banda, Anna Morehouse.
Morehouse.
I don't think we really talked about that before, but we just throw it out there.
No,
Of
it's
course,
fantastic.
Anna, well deserved, finally getting some, real props from the league and from the commentators around the league. I feel like she was on such a run, and everyone keeps talking about the other goalkeepers, and no one was talking about Anna. So it's great to see that she is, hey, most clean sheets, right? Deserve to be in there. And of course, up top, it's always like goes without saying at this point, but Barbara Banda, is Barbara Banda at this point. She's just an incredible player, incredible striker. And once again, this is the second time she's been in team of the month, two in a row. So since she got here, she's just been winning awards. I think that's gonna continue. Luis, let's move on to our final topic. Chanda has arrived. Grace
Yeah.
Chanda stopped by the the Orlando Pride and the stadium on the way to the Olympics, of course, to meet up with her teammate Barbara.
Yeah, we have a
Uh,
video here.
yeah, let's play the video. So if anyone hasn't seen Grace's reactions,
There you go.
got the Zambia flag out.
Hmm. Great.
Grace there, enjoying the stadium, taking it all in the locker rooms. Walking through the tunnel. It's great. I know she's been in training and everything as well at times, so it's good to see she's here on the way to the Olympics. Just stopping in. I'm excited to see Grace, man. I feel like she's going to be an incredible winger for this team, and as much as I really rate our wingers at the moment, I think when you've got Barbara, Marta, Adriana, and Chanda as your front four, I think that is insanely good.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna add a familiar face for Barbara Banda also, and we're gaining a player that was one of the first Zambian women to appear in UEFA, right? Also a phenomenal talent, especially last season, for example, she played 26 games, didn't score like 4 goals, 3 or 4 goals, and 2 assists. So Madrid was fifth in the standings for Liga F or Liga F in Spain. She's pretty well regarded in Zambia as well. She was one of the 3 players that was chosen to be African Women's Footballer of the Year in 2022. She was part of the team that made Zambia qualify for the 2023 Women's World Cup. That, and unfortunately she couldn't go because of illness. Unfortunately, but again, this is an exciting player that hopefully, with Banda there and also with the squad that we have, just adds a massive boost in the attacking third. Um, Orlando Pride's gonna look scary, John. Scary good, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, definitely. Excited to see her in the Olympics, of course. Excited to see her eventually put on that ice orange jersey or that purple jersey and play for Orlando Pride. Definitely the link up with Barbara. Is that chemistry there already? I'm assuming it is from national team. Can that immediately just translate onto the field? Highly likely that we see them just being able to play immediately together. But also that I think just she's the kind of player, technical winger that will just thrive with Marta and the other players around her. I don't know, like
Scary, man.
you're talking like, okay, she's gonna play right or left wing, and she could also be a 10, like she can play D mid even. Like she's that kind of versatile. Like think like Angelino a little bit like
Yeah.
that, where you could move her around, play her in a different position. So I'm thinking her most of the time as a winger, but she's definitely got some options for other places she could be in the field. Excited to see Grace, and this was really cool and a great little moment. But we're just waiting. We're waiting, obviously, for her to get here. So that can't come soon enough. We got a comment here from Moses who says, "Hope you are going to see good defenders." I'm going to murder this name. I'm sorry. Like Lushomo
Lushomo
Moema.
Wemba.
Mwemba. So we're
You
learning more
see,
about the Zambian
see,
national
John.
team. Look, here you go. This was the team right here that played against New Zealand in their last friendly. Here's Lishwomo Mwemba at the bottom here. And then down here on the bench was Barbara, but I don't
Oh, is
expect
Diana
Barbara.
Banda related to Barbara?
I don't think so, but maybe our Zambian friends can correct us if
I
that
don't
is
know.
true. Rachel Kudnaji here. I think there
Yeah.
was, Barbara on the bench. I think that's not likely to be the case in bigger
Right, for
games. I
sure.
think
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
just
yeah.
minutes and stuff.
Helen Chanda too. Look at that.
Yeah, another Chanda down here. So I'm excited to learn more about this Zambian national team.
I believe it's gonna be the
Uh,
dark horse. I think they're gonna
I
be
think
the
it's I think they're gonna cause some of these
be a
European teams
surprise.
some real problems, man. They
Yeah,
would just how like the attack alone is a serious
the
issue that you have to deal.
physicality, the
You
attack.
gotta deal with Barbara. I mean, any team Barbara plays anybody, there's a problem for the opposition. So Stream Jesus, hey buddy, how are you? He says, "Oh my God, Liga MX and NWSL, I just fall in love. We're with you. Super excited about this tournament. Those women are beautiful. Love that.
There you go.
He's super excited about the tournament too. So it's going to be a great time here in the summer. We've got not only our own cup to enjoy, we got players that we haven't seen. I'm excited to see, a lot of these rotation options, and we get to see our big stars out on the national team as well. So a little bit different, Luis, don't you think? Like we're coming into a new era of Orlando Pride here. Like it was the first part of the season, and now things are about to change with all of these new tournaments and Olympics going on at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we are definitely winning, and we're winning big. And not only that, we're just kicking ass and taking names. And it's been a process, but I think we had the right pieces in place. When it comes to the coaching staff, when it came to the front office, and now that's translating to the pitch. And you get committed players that want to play for the badge, for the city. This is the results you get. Make the right moves, the right transactions. Zero. That locker room, man, has zero ego. Like zero. Everyone is gung ho and winning things for Orlando, and that's the reason why this team is so successful. And then not only that, it's causing for more fans to come. They'll be like, hey, Orlando City went through a bad slump. Let me go check on the Pride right here. And then we start seeing more fans coming in, new fans being converted, and I'm sure the Black Swans are going to see probably a rise also in their people being members of the Black Swans. They're gonna maybe see a little bump right there. So it's all positive, and to me, and I say this, one of the coolest things is I had no idea of Zambia and how imposing their players were and how good their players were. And knowing that Banda was coming here gave me an exposition on trying to get to know more of those African nations that there's so many good players there that we don't even have an idea who they are. And I think it's gonna definitely be it definitely I learn a lot, so I'm still learning too. So it's gonna be great to see him in action also in the Olympics. But I'm excited for what's coming for the Pride, man. It's only winning around here.
Yeah, man. A few little things you reminded me of there. One is obviously the U.S. women's national team is about to kick off in a minute against the who is it? Sorry, Costa Rica.
Rika.
Here is the lineup, and then down here, I wanted to show you, Luis. Down here in the subs, what is that right
There
there?
you go. What are those?
But look at the name.
All right, they fixed it. That's great.
Foot Mob finally changed Emily Madrill to Emily Sams, but you know what they did? They just made her a whole new player because they didn't. So now there's an Emily Madrill and an Emily Sams in Foot
Oh
Mob.
wow,
They didn't realize it was the
it's
same person.
incredible. Yeah, they probably don't know a lot of what's going on there.
So that was a little bit of a chuckle and a facepalm moment when I saw that one. But awesome that Emily is representing. Here she is, getting ready to go out in the subs with me. So everybody go check out that game. Anything else from you, Luis, before we get out of here? Oh, I do want to say, if you have not already, please go and check out the listener feedback survey. We have done that. It's on the posted at the top of our Twitter. It's pinned to the top of the Twitter for LPO. Go fill that out. We want to hear all of your opinions on the podcast. We've got a lot of opinions from some of our City fans, but I know there's some Pride fans that have not submitted. So please go in there. Let us know your thoughts. We want to get your feedback. And then we're going to use that to try and inform us in our decisions and how we take the show going forward. Luis, as always, you want to do us the honor of running through the socials?
Yeah, definitely. Check us out on, obviously, listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're also on Google, the Google version of that too. We're everywhere. X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at LP_podcast. Subscribe, thumbs up, comment, and spread the word. Subscribe to our channel. That you help us out a lot tremendously by subscribing to our YouTube channel. So we got all content not only for Orlando Pride, but also for Orlando City and OCB. So thank you guys for your support.
Yes,
You're
indeed. Thank you for your support. Everybody who is here today commenting live, you can always join us here on Tuesday nights. If you just want to listen later, that's awesome too. We appreciate it. Everything you do helps us grow, helps us do more for with LPO and more for the Pride. So, man, I'm excited to watch this team in a new tournament this weekend, and I'm excited to see these international players in the Olympics. But until next time, as we always, we'll sign off with Vamos Pride.
Vamos Pride. Take care, guys.
See ya.